Good morning, Raisinville. My name is Mr. Skaggs, also known as Erica Howard for today.
No, I'm Erica.
Okay, so Erica's here. She joined us a little bit late, but that's all right. So this is the first edition of WRAZ Radio. So for those of you who are unaware of what a podcast is, it's practically like a longer song. So there's a lot less production value than what WRAZ News has because we don't have to mess around with the green screen. But the whole point of this is to be a little less formal, but still get you the news and to kind of talk about some of the things going on in the world and what's going on here at Raisinville. So the first thing that we want to talk about is who's all here. So I'm Mr. Skaggs / Erica Howard. The other voice that you heard was actual Erica Howard. Say hi, Erica.
Hi.
Okay, there's Erica. And sitting directly across from me is Haven Neto. Say hi, Haven.
Hi.
And to Haven's left is Mr. Ben Wilson. Say hi, Ben.
Hey.
There we go. I was expecting someone to say, when I say hi, Ben, I kind of expected Ben to go, hi, Ben. But nobody did that today. That's okay, though. So basically, yeah, there we go. Someone's got it. We're still going to try to continue with the same jobs that most people have on the news, just so that way when you hear their voice, you still get used to hearing the same information. So Haven has an update on the sports world for us. So Haven, what's going on with sports right now?
Basketball.
I love basketball.
Last night, the Pistons beat the Nets, I think?
Yeah, New Jersey Nets.
New Jersey Nets.
Well, Brooklyn Nets now.
I don't know.
Yeah,
All I did was write down.
You're the sports authority. You got to know these things. All right, yeah, so the Pistons beat the Nets. I actually watched that game. That was a very frustrating game to watch as a Pistons fan because they had a big lead and then they lost it, but they still pulled it out, so that was good.
By 3 points.
Yeah, it was a close one.
The Magic was magical and made 104 points.
Very nice.
And
I like
the Heat
puns.
made 101. So the Magic's won because they did some magic. The Hornets and Bucks won by 1 point is 113. Grizzlies lost by a big loss. Grizzlies have 83 to 111, and that was the Indiana Pacers won. And I don't know these last two names.
Let's take a look at you've heard of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
104, and then the
Raptors
won 116. So there's your sports report, guys.
Right, so it
seems
like the Cavaliers aren't in a great position now that LeBron isn't there anymore since he's over in LA. Thank you, Haven, for the sports report. So tomorrow Friday on WRAZ News, we will have a update from the past flag football games. So our reporter Ben Wilson was out there recording some of the games, so we have some highlights to go over tomorrow with a breakdown of the plays courtesy of Mr. Sellers. So stay tuned for that tomorrow on WRAZ News. So speaking of Ben's got a quick update for us on the entertainment world. So Ben, you saw or at least looked up the trailer for a movie recently?
Yeah.
What movie was that?
I was researching Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. The prequel to this was a pretty good movie, but this one only got 39 Rotten Tomatoes, but
39 runs.
It's been a while since I've been in school, but I'm pretty sure 39% isn't great.
Yeah, and as of October 16th, the domestic box office, it's a lot.
It's a lot. What's the number?
Around 17 million.
Okay. So when did Goosebumps come out?
It came out on the 12th of October.
Okay, so it seems this is going to sound really crazy for everybody, but 17 million, even though that's like more than any of us can imagine, in movie numbers, that's relatively low.
What?
It didn't even.
Wait, what is it?
17 million.
17. There's no way that's low because that's a big number.
It's about 17.5 million, but it didn't even reach its budget yet. So
how much was the budget?
The budget was 35 million.
There we go. So put it into perspective. It's like, say, if you were to set up a lemonade stand and it cost you $50 to have all of the lemonade and the sugar and all that stuff, and it costs you $50 to get it set up, and then you only sell $25 worth of lemonade. So then you pretty much lost $25 on the whole thing, even though you made $25. So for them to spend $32 million on a movie and only make 17.5 back, that's where the numbers are low. So to us, that's a lot of money, but to them, it's a little low. But that doesn't mean just because the Rotten Tomatoes score isn't great, that doesn't mean that the movie's going to be bad. I still plan on seeing it.
Yeah, so. Me too. I'm going to see it on Friday.
I plan on seeing it too.
Good. How about you? Sometimes, Erica?
Yeah. I'll probably watch it.
I think that would be a good idea. I used to watch the TV show, so I'm a big fan of Goosebumps. Used to read the books. So I'm planning on seeing that this weekend if I can.
Yeah, Jack Black wasn't in this one enough, though.
He's usually pretty funny. And he was really funny in the first one. All right, so Erica, thank you, Ben, for the movie update. Erica, do you have any quick tidbits, anything new that you want to add to the conversation?
Nope.
All right, well, short and succinct. Very nice. Really quickly here, what I want to talk about is, the big event we had the other day. We had the NED show here. Yeah, it was pretty big event.
Yeah.
So what were some of your general thoughts on it? Eric, I'm going to start with you because we already let Haven and Ben talk. So what were your overall thoughts about the NED show?
I think it was cool because he was playing with the yo-yo. That's awesome. Especially the pictures that he was making.
Or the one where he made the Y and the yo-yo was the O, so it said yo. I thought that was pretty cool.
And Yet is awesome.
Yet is awesome.
Yet?
Yeah, Yet.
Oh,
Little Yeti thing.
I forgot.
So Haven, you liked Yet the Yeti too?
I like the magic a lot, but a few of the tricks I finally found out how to do.
Well, we're not going to divulge any information.
Tell you how we did it.
Right. Nope.
I'm just kidding.
They were magic. I'm making a magical hand gesture right here.
Hard trick.
So they were magic tricks. But I thought that, how about, we all thought that the presentation was fun. It was pretty funny. It was lighthearted and all that good stuff. So how about the message? What about the message stuck with you three? Let's start with Haven. What about the message? What part of the show do you remember the most? The message, like the meaning of his name or find your mindset. What about that?
I liked it, I guess. I don't know.
You liked
I don't
it?
know what my favorite part was because it's I don't know.
What is there any? Here, let me give you an example. For the message, the thing that stuck to me the most was finding your mindset. Because remember, that's kind of like the whole journey. He went all around the world to find his mindset.
Yeah.
But the one that says with the Yeti.
For me, talking about Yet the Yeti, everybody seems to love Yet the Yeti. The thing that I thought was coolest about that whole part of the show is that every time he said that he didn't know something or he wasn't good at something, they throw yet in there. So I'm not good at it yet. I don't know how to do this yet. I think the most important part of that is, remember, NED stands for
Never give up.
Never give up. What's the E?
Encourage others.
Encourage others. And the D? Do your best.
Do your best. Yeah.
There we go. So it's never give up, encourage others, and do your best. So for me, the most important part of all that, if we include yet in there, is that so if you don't know how to do something, you stick to it because you just don't know how to do it yet. So, for example, Ben, what instrument do you play?
I play the saxophone.
So you play the saxophone. Did you know how to play the saxophone when you were born?
No.
Can you play...
I only just learned it over.
Do you know who Kenny G is? It might be a little old reference. Yeah. Well, he's a saxophone player. He's a very, very good saxophone player. So you might not be able to be Kenny G yet, but if you continue to practice, you're still young, so you have plenty of time to keep working at it, and you could eventually learn to play like that. The point of the story is that if you can't do something yet, you don't get frustrated with it, you don't get discouraged by it, you just continue to always do your best and to never give up. Encouraging others just comes along as part of the process. So I think that's going to be just about it for our first edition of WRAZ Radio. Hopefully in the future, what we'll do is kind of get some other voices involved and then some more news stories from around the school. So make sure that you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe to WRAZ News on YouTube. The podcast, by the way, I should say, is on SoundCloud under WRAZ Radio, WRAZ Radio. So make sure that you subscribe to this subscribe to the news channel. Make sure to tune in daily to get your Raisinville RAZ news. Every Thursday for the podcast, every other weekday
RAZ.
for RAZ news.
Until we can get good enough to like do them both.
Right. But
Yep.
we'll
can't
worry
do it
with that when
yet.
we get to it.
We can't
There
do
go.
it yet.
Can't do it yet. Very nice. So, Haven, Ben, Erica, any last words before we sign off?
Bye.
Bye. Bye are good last words. So until next time, have a fantastic day, Raisinville.
Half
Hi,
day.
Eddie Spaghetti.
Happy.